Can guinea pigs be raised outdoors, on pasture, even through the Welsh winter? We're about to find out.
So we had a storm overnight. I'm really hoping it's all fine.
This video is about moving our breeding groups from a housed area directly onto pasture. And yes, it is winter. And actually we had a really powerful storm over the weekend. So it's really put this idea to the test. I think that it passed the test. However, it wasn't without its own issues. We did have a bit of an incident on the weekend, which we'll cover in this video. But ultimately, I think we're in a good place. We are testing a new system of moving the guinea pigs, whereby we are trying to train them to run into the house ahead of us. You'll see more of that in this video. Breeding guinea pigs in this house has gone well so far.
Look inside the tunnel. Oh. Yep. Have to count them. How do I? 2.
Everyone is in good health, but we want all of our guinea pigs out on pasture. There are many reasons why we want to keep them on pasture all year round. Cutting and hauling grass is time consuming and quickly loses its quality. And being on pasture gives them 24/7 access to fresh grass, which we believe plays a crucial role for their health. And moving on to new ground every day keeps their environment clean. This also means we don't have to muck out their manure, and their manure is evenly distributed across our farm. We've seen great results keeping our male guinea pigs outdoors in mowing crates. We originally assumed that guinea pigs wouldn't do very well in our cold, wet climate. In fact, the boars kept outside are in very good health. All of the guinea pigs kept outside have maintained a very healthy weight and grown at least as fast as the ones kept indoors. Even during periods of very high rainfall, we've noticed the males kept in the crates are mostly dry and clean and in good spirit. They do a very good job at staying sheltered when it's raining and then coming out to eat whenever a gap in the weather opens up. So we got to work building mowing crates for our 3 breeding groups. With the crate complete, we were ready to move our first breeding group. This is a younger group, so there are no babies yet. Anytime we implement a change, we test it on a smaller group first. We wanted to make some shelter that was specially designed for the breeding groups, something that would be particularly warm and spacious so that they could have indoor grazing space. We had an idea. In the meantime, we used the black tubes as temporary housing. Now, time to build their huts. We've got loads of IBCs on the farm that we used to use when we kept a commercial flock of ducks. Water was very important, so we collected it off the roofs and stored it in IBCs just in case the well stopped working. We no longer need this much water as we only have a small flock of ducks, so these IBCs are becoming our new guinea pig houses. We thought they were perfect, and the metal cages will get used for firewood storage. Yeah, like that. With the first breeding crate now complete, we had another 2 to build. With no babies and no one heavily pregnant, we thought we would test this idea for a week or 2 before introducing the second and third breeding groups. During this time, there was actually a storm, and the house held up well. But as we were about to find out, the next storm would be much worse. Meanwhile, the babies kept coming. So 4 brand new little babies that were born overnight. And as you can see in here, we've put hay, which they use as bedding. So last night they had this hay to keep them warm, and obviously someone felt like giving birth in that.
I've got one.
Abby's got one. Oh my goodness, it's sleepy.
It's a little tortoiseshell.
Come on, little guy.
And there's the other one. You got them all. Oh boy. Oh, it's a black one, a tortoiseshell, or yeah, a little bit torty. Oh my goodness, they're so cute.
Okay, we're gonna put them all. Now it was time to build the second mowing crate. With the second mowing crate now complete, we were ready to move the next breeding group. The next day was very wet and cold, but everyone was okay. Something very interesting happened that day. Abby decided to try a new way of moving the crate. Instead of inching everything along, she put the house outside of the crate and lifted it, allowing the guinea pigs to find their own way. She'd then walk the crate over the housing. Genius. As you'll see later on, there are some teething problems with this approach, but it has real potential. We had already made the third and final mowing crate, and it was now time to make the last hut. This time we used a handsaw to cut the IBC instead of the electric circular saw. It was a much cleaner process, resulting in far less plastic waste. It was time to transfer the third and final breeding group.
Alright. Yeah, do you want to put the rat box inside the hut? Yeah, they're already grazing. They just went in one door and out the other around the back of the house and started eating grass.
The next day we came to check on everybody and to try out the new system for moving the mowing crates. Moving the crate that had no babies in it was obviously the easiest. What do we do? But when moving the babies, they had absolutely no idea where to go or what to do.
Empty. I was just going to move over.
None of the females have ever been grazing outdoors yet, so even adults don't know the deal. It was clear that it would take a bit of time for the guinea pigs to get used to the new routine. But with a bit of training, we were pretty confident that everyone would get the idea. Okay, so we're going to lift the lid and we're going to chuck it over there, and Hachi's in the way. Hachi's nervous because there are gunshots in the distance and she gets very clingy when that happens. There's someone in there.
No. Oh, hello.
Kaya, come on.
Oh,
One's popped through. Just, I want to see if it goes back in.
yeah.
Okay, so now, yeah, now the, yeah.
Trouble is, it can't always get into the hole.
This is the first time that these guys have done a move, ever. So they are not familiar with the,
Okay, some people have gone.
this one.
This is not going to be a paper.
Come on, Rachel.
Now.
Come on, Rachel. You can do it.
Rachel. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Help.
So, yeah, placement of these. And put it in.
Not going in.
Okay, so moving this pen wasn't very easy, but that's kind of to be expected. A few reasons. One is that it's the first time they've been moved and they don't know the deal. And two, there's too many objects in this pen at the moment, which means there's a lot of things to move and get people out of and whatnot. But the reason we put all of them there is because this is the first time they're exposed to the sky and aerial predators, so we wanted them to have a lot of little hidey holes to get to easily. But yeah, everyone seems good, despite the fact that there was quite a bit of cold weather overnight. And the next challenge is that I believe overnight and tomorrow we've got a storm coming, and we can expect winds of around 70 miles an hour. So the question that we have in our minds is whether or not these huts are going to be okay in the wind and not blow away. My hope is that they are good, because they're quite aerodynamic, they're very low. But one thing we've done on these hut designs is we've put a door on that end and a door on that end so that any wind that comes in can get out. And then also it means that back section along there is sheltered from the wind, and the only wind tunnel in this house will be running through that direction, so everyone can snuggle on that end of the house. So the storm is coming. We're gonna have to come and check on these guys when it's really windy, and to make sure that all these little houses are firmly on the ground. I don't want to preemptively put weights on top of these, because I actually want to know what happens in the storm. I want to know if they are stormproof as is, or if we need to make permanent modifications to them. If they don't survive in the wind, then the temporary measure will be to put something on top of them that's heavy, and then the long-term solution will be to put timber battens just on the edges, which will firm up the base frame and just weigh them down a little bit more onto the ground. I ended up coming back before dark to weigh down the houses. I decided to weigh down the two with groups that currently have babies, but not the first group, which is only adults.
So we had a storm overnight, and it sounded pretty awful. It's been really windy and raining, so I'm really, really hoping it's all fine and everyone is okay.
Oh, sorry guys. Right. That was awful. That 90 mile an hour winds, and luckily those two huts over there stayed in place because I weighed them down, and unfortunately this one flipped over at some point in the night. It hadn't been weighed down, and everyone looked very sorry for themselves, and I feel really bad about them. But they're okay, they're just wet and cold, and everyone's been given hay to snuggle inside, and they've also been given poultry feed, high protein, high calorie snacks inside the house, as well as the grass and the hay. So I think everyone's going to be a lot happier. you know, when you put your hand inside those huts, they're much warmer. Inside there you can just feel the temperature difference immediately because they're sheltered from the wind, and they're also letting light through, and they're shallow, so any heat that builds up in there, you know, is trapped. Oh man, poor guys, but everyone is okay. Okay, I just put an extra weight on top of that one there. And interestingly, everyone in the blueberry patch up there who has the small little round blue barrel huts, they're all fine, and that stayed. Alright, so I need to get out of this weather. Back on the farm, and we just want to check on the guinea pigs to see how they're doing. It's still very windy. We've come along with some towels, some boxes, we're going to make little nests out of them. We've got 3 hot water bottles in here, and yeah, we're just going to try and make it a bit more comfortable for them overnight. Dry everybody off. So cut a little hole on the side of this.
On each, there's 3 towels.
Okay, fine. So we'll do this one in here. That's nice, actually. Okay, yeah. Very good. Ready? So we're going to move that over. Careful, the wind's coming, huh? Put it in the back corner. Oh, they're in there. There's some in there too. Okay. Now watch when you close. Oh, that one is. Can you grab that little one? Oh wait, no, you. Okay. Fine, don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Careful when you close now, yeah? Watch that one there. The next day was much brighter, and everything seemed to be in order. It was still a bit windy, and it was very cold. Hello guys. It's bitterly cold. The clouds have cleared, and so it's bright and sunny, but the wind and the wind is very high and the temperature is very low, so it's very, very chilly to this morning. But the guinea pigs look good. They look dry and happy so far on the one pen, and I'll see what they look on the other two. I was very glad to see that everyone was okay. The new method of letting the guinea pigs run ahead and walking the crate over the housing seemed to be working. It didn't come without its challenges, but as the guinea pigs get used to this routine, it becomes much easier. So, we've learnt that the blue barrel huts are stormproof, but the breeder huts, the ones made out of IBCs, they'll need some modifications in order to make them stormproof. We've got some ideas as to how we might modify these breeder huts to make them more resilient against high winds. But we'd really like to know what you guys think. We've had loads of interesting comments from everyone, and we really appreciate them. So if you have any ideas for us, please leave them in the comments below. If you've gotten this far, then you might be interested to know that we now offer memberships for this channel. Head over to the Park Carrick page and hit the join button to find out what perks you'll get. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.